Texas has football, in Minnesota it's ice hockey, and Alaska has dog sledding. In these places, these sports are more than just pastimes, they are interwoven into the culture. They bring people together almost like a common language. In Indiana, there's the Indianapolis 500, but this once-a-year event doesn't captivate the state quite like basketball. Hoosier is a term that has been in use in the state of Indiana since the mid-1800s, but no one truly knows exactly where it came from or what it means other than a resident of the state. It could be said that the term is just as interwoven into the culture and lore of Indiana as the game of basketball. Although the game was invented in Massachusetts, its popularity exploded when it reached Indiana in 1894. Into the 20th century, it became clear that the state was the undisputed basketball capital of the world. 13 of the top 15 largest high school gyms in the United States are located in Indiana. Some of the game's greatest figures, Oscar Robertson, Larry Bird, Shawn Kemp, John Wooden, and Greg Popovich all hail from the Hoosier State. Per capita, Indiana produces the most minutes played by NBA players of any state in the country. All of these accolades build up to one question: why? Why Indiana? Why did its love for the game reach higher than anywhere else in America? That question may lie in its high school basketball tournament. At one time in Indiana, before school consolidations, there were hundreds of small rural schools dotting the state. This meant that the average school in Indiana was smaller than those of most other states. While this meant football and other sports had trouble taking off, the small schools of Indiana had no problem putting together the 5-person teams required to play the game. The excitement came during tournament season, when a small rural school had a chance to knock off a big city powerhouse. This exciting time of the year when high school basketball entranced the state became affectionately known as Hoosier Hysteria. No such instance captivated the state more than 1954, when Milan, enrollment 161, defeated Muncie Central, enrollment 1,600. The David and Goliath story was so compelling that it served as inspiration for the 1986 film Hoosiers.
There's a tradition in tournament play. Not talk about the next step until you've climbed the one in front of you. I'm sure going to the state finals is beyond your wildest dreams, so let's just keep it right there. Forget about the crowds, the size of the school, their fancy uniforms, and remember what got you here. Focus on the fundamentals that we've gone over time and time again. And most important, don't get caught up thinking about winning or losing this game. If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says, at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners. Okay?
I think because we had such a positive attitude that we never expect to lose. I can't say we expected to win, but we played because we never expected to lose. It's the old adage, one game at a time. My name is Glenn Butt, and I was on Milan's 1954 state championship team. And we, people kind of think, oh, well, you know, you kind of was a fluke. You know, the small school beating the large school probably may not happen. But in the after final game of the semi-state then in '54, we played a team called Christmas Addicts. And they had a player by the name of Oscar Robertson. And thank God he was only a sophomore. He got 23 against us, but We ended up then beating Addicts by about 15 points. So then we played Muncie Central that night. We put a full court press on, and the press, they threw the ball over a couple times to us, and our coach called timeout with 17 seconds to go. And he said, okay, Bob, it's going to be your shot. Ray, you get the ball in the Bob. Rest of you get to the side of the floor. Got the ball in the Bob. Four of us then moved to the side of the floor. That cleared the side for Bob one-on-one, and he made his move to the bucket. And when he let go again, he said, I knew it was in.
The beauty of Indiana's state basketball tournament was that schools large and small competed against each other for the state title. That came to an end in 1998 when the state adopted a four-class system based on school size. The days of a small school taking down a large one were no more. School consolidation is also closing rural schools frequently. In 1954, when Milan won the state title, 751 schools entered the tournament. Today, less than half of those schools exist. The storied Indiana University men's basketball program, with its 5 national championships, has not won a title in 30 years. Basketball still undeniably carries weight in the state of Indiana. While campaigning for the 2016 presidential election, Donald Trump brought in legendary IU coach Bob Knight for support. Meanwhile, Ted Cruz attempted to quote the movie Hoosiers while at the gym used in the film. He butchered the quote and mistakenly referred to the rim.
The amazing thing is that basketball ring here in Indiana, it's the same height as it is in New York City and every other place in this country.
Trump won by a landslide. Basketball has also become more socially conscious, with professional athletes using their platforms to spread progressive messages of inclusivity. This seems to be at odds with the politics of the state of Indiana and its conservative views, including its traditional brand of basketball. With the diminishing excitement surrounding the state high school basketball tournament, coupled with the increasing social divide within the game, it is unclear what the future of basketball in Indiana will look like. All that is certain is that so long as teams are playing and filling gyms, and homegrown talent is gracing television screens at the professional level, the legend of Indiana basketball will continue to grow.